The red dust of the Australian bush holds its breath, baking under a relentless sun that bleaches the color from the eucalyptus leaves, leaving them pale and ghostly against the searing blue sky. Here in this ancient, heat-shimmering landscape, the silence is a deception, a thin veil over a world of constant, microscopic violence, where the rules of civilization do not apply, and where survival is earned in blood and venom. Down amongst the dry sclerophyll litter, amidst the fallen bark and the quartz grit, a fortress rises, a sprawling mound of excavated earth, silent and seemingly dormant. But beneath the crust, a sleeping giant is waiting for the trigger of twilight. This is the domain of the bulldog ant, Myrmecia, a relic of a primordial age, a creature so perfectly designed for solitary warfare that evolution has barely touched it in 100 million years. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, painting the gum trees in shades of bruised purple and burnt orange, the temperature drops and the signal runs through the subterranean galleries. Deep in the cool, dark earth, the colony stirs. These are not the mindless, scurrying drones of a picnic raid. These are giants among their kind, reaching over an inch in length, armor-plated in chitin that gleams with a terrifying fiery orange hue. They do not rely on the chemical trails of their lesser cousins, blindly following a scent line in the dirt. Instead, they possess a weapon rare in the ant world: sight. Enormous convex eyes dominate their heads, drinking in the fading light, capable of tracking movement meters away, locking onto prey with the precision of a hawk. One by one they emerge from the nest entrance, a legion of solitary hunters stepping out into the cooling air. There is no chaotic swarming yet, just a rhythmic, purposeful exodus. This is the changing of the guard, the rise of the night stalkers. One worker, a veteran of the colony, pauses at the rim of the crater. She cleans her antennae, sensitive instruments that taste the air, but she trusts her eyes more. She looks up at the towering silhouette of a eucalyptus tree, her destination. She is alone. Unlike other ants that swarm a food source, the bulldog ant hunts in solitude, a lone wolf in an insect's body. She scuttles across the open ground, her long legs carrying her with a jerky, confident gait, navigating not by pheromones but by landmarks: a jagged rock, a fallen log, the specific twist of a tree root. She ascends the rough bark of the gum tree, moving into the canopy. Her mission is twofold: sugar for herself and meat for the next generation. For herself, she seeks the sweet nectar of blossoms or the sugary honeydew secreted by scale insects, a high-octane fuel to power her relentless aggression. She finds a patch of scale insects, tapping them gently, drinking the exudate, her abdomen swelling slightly with the energy reserve. But this is the peaceful part of her night. The true hunger of the colony lies deeper. Down in the nursery chambers, the larvae are waiting. Unlike the adults who sip nectar, the babies are carnivores. They demand flesh. The hunter leaves the nectar source, her mandibles gaping open, serrated, scythe-like jaws that are longer than her head. She prowls the underside of a leaf, her movements slowing, becoming fluid. She spots a huntsman spider, small but fast, resting near a stem. The ant freezes. Her vision locks on the target. She does not rush blindly. She stalks. She creeps forward, using the shadows, closing the distance until she is within striking range. The spider senses the vibration, turning to face the threat, but it is too late. With a snap that would be audible if our ears were attuned to this frequency, the bulldog ant lunges. Her mandibles clamp shut like a steel trap, the teeth interlocking to pin the spider's legs. The spider thrashes, biting at the hard exoskeleton, but the ant brings her abdomen forward, curling it under her body to deploy her ultimate weapon. The sting of the bulldog ant is legendary, a hypodermic lance loaded with a potent cocktail of enzymes and peptides, designed to induce agonizing pain and paralysis. She thrusts the stinger into the soft tissue of the spider once, twice. The effect is immediate. The spider's struggles weaken, its nervous system overwhelmed by the burning fire of the venom. This is not just defense. This is a calculated execution. She holds the dying prey, waiting for the twitching to cease, a master of her brutal trade. With the spider now limp, a dead weight almost as heavy as herself, she hoists it into her jaws. The journey home is a test of Herculean strength. She must navigate the labyrinth of branches, descend the vertical trunk, and cross the open ground, all while carrying a carcass that defies gravity. She is not safe. The night is full of eyes. A bandicoot snuffles through the undergrowth, seeking insects. The ant freezes again, relying on her stillness. She is a predator, but she is also protein. If attacked, she will not flee. She will drop her burden and leap, yes, leap, throwing her body inches into the air to latch onto the attacker, stinging repeatedly. She is known as the jack jumper for a reason, a frantic, buzzing ball of fury that can repel animals 1,000 times her size. But the bandicoot passes, and she resumes her march. By the time she reaches the mound, the eastern sky is bleeding into gray. The dawn return is a rush hour of carnage. Hundreds of sisters are arriving, each bearing a grim trophy, a decapitated caterpillar, a paralyzed wasp, the wing of a moth. They descend into the underworld, passing the guards who check their scent, plunging into the humid darkness. Here, the atmosphere shifts from the violence of the surface to a strange, alien domesticity. The worker carries her prize to the brood chamber. Rows of white, maggot-like larvae writhe in the gloom. They are helpless, yet voracious. The worker places the spider carcass directly onto the chest of a larva. The grub does not wait. It buries its mouth parts into the spider, feeding on the fresh meat. This is the primitive nature of the bulldog ant. In more advanced species, the adults chew the food and regurgitate it. Here, the meat is delivered raw and whole. The worker watches, perhaps grooming the larva, a tender gesture from a creature built for murder. Deepest of all lies the queen. She is a monster of a matriarch, larger, her abdomen distended with eggs. She has ruled this darkness for years, perhaps a decade or more. She is the heart of the colony, the reason for the hunting, the killing, and the dying. She was once a winged princess who flew in the sun, mated, and then tore off her own wings to condemn herself to this subterranean life. She lays an egg, a small pearl of potential, which is immediately whisked away by a nurse worker. The colony is a single organism, and she is the womb. But the peace of the nursery is shattered by a vibration that rocks the earth. Above, on the surface, a heavy boot has struck the mound. The reaction is instantaneous. It is not fear that grips the colony. It is a collective electrical rage. The alarm pheromones are unnecessary. The vibration tells them everything. From every tunnel and chamber, the reserves pour out. They do not hide. They erupt from the nest entrance like magma, boiling over the sides of the mound. They are fast, terrifyingly fast, their mandibles wide open, their abdomens tucked, stingers pulsating with venom. They scan the horizon with those large, intelligent eyes, looking for the intruder. They spot the shadow of the human towering above. Most ants would bite the ankle. The bulldog ant looks up. It sees the threat and chases it. They are fearless, charging across the dirt, some leaping in frantic arcs to close the distance. If the intruder does not retreat, the consequences will be severe. A burning, throbbing pain that can last for days. A venom that remembers the ancient wars of the Cretaceous period. The human retreats, wise to the danger. The ants hold their ground, a seething carpet of orange and black, mandibles snapping at the air, daring the giant to return. Slowly as the threat recedes, the adrenaline fades. The sun is high now, baking the earth once more. The nocturnal hunters retreat into the cool depths to wait out the heat of the day. The mound falls silent, a deceptive stillness returning to the red dust. Below, the cycle continues. The larvae feed, the queen lays, and the warriors rest, dreaming in the dark, waiting for the shadows to lengthen, waiting for the twilight to unleash them upon the world once again. They are the bulldog ants, the ancient kings of this harsh land, and they will not yield.